Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and I'm reading Champions, issue number 6. Now, Monsters Unleashed is out, and there's a huge crossover event that's crossing over with a whole bunch of different comics and heroes and la-di-da, and it's not really that great of an event. I mean, just when push comes to shove, it's not that good. But Champions did have a crossover event, and you know what's significant about it is that even though it didn't seem like it had anything to do with anything, it was still a really good issue, standalone, all by itself. Guess what? It actually ties into the Champions itself. Now, that's interesting to say because when you read the last issue of Champions, issue number 5, they were just finishing up, and I didn't even realize they were finishing up in a particular police station, letting people take over from a very racist cop who, not just a cop, but a sheriff, and he was actually starting trouble all throughout the ethnic communities. Well, that actually ended with issue number 5. I didn't realize that was supposed to be an ending. Either way, when we went over to Champions issue number 1.mu, that's the Monsters Unleashed crossover, as silly as it is, it started an entire new story that we thought was going to be completely superfluous and have nothing to do whatsoever with the main continuity. Well, guess what? That actually started a brand new group of supervillains called the Freelancers. Now, these guys are baddies, they're super powered, and they work for the highest bidder, essentially. So they'll go and they'll stop any kind of a protest, they'll start trouble, they'll frame protesters and whatever. They're basically working for the corporations. So the Champions are just off on their own in this particular issue, issue number 6, and they're doing some training, namely with paintballing, and they're referring back to the training they did out in the woods, which was kind of a failure, and kind of not. And it was very cool. We actually got to see that Nova had a plan that beat both Miss Marvel's and Cyclops's, and Cyclops had a very solid plan. However, Nova's plan was just that much better. It was very cool, and it was because he knew Scott. So it worked out well, and then we mostly switch over the entire second half of this comic to the Freelancers and seeing what bad guys they are. And they just start some trouble, and they talk about the different things that they've done and how they're working for the corporations. You basically get a better understanding of who these bad guys are. And then we're kind of left with the idea that they're trying to frame the Champions for something because of their last encounter back in Champions issue number 1.mu. So I'm very impressed that a crossover event with a crossover actually led into something into the comics. To the best of my knowledge, this is completely historic. I've never seen something like this before. Champions, Mark Waid, actually made something work for him with a crossover as opposed to trying to benefit the greater crossover event in and of itself. So kudos, absolute kudos. This is one of the reasons why I love my comics. Guys, I'm going to give this comic an A. The villain was already set up last issue in a crossover, and now he's here, they are here, and I'm looking forward to seeing these enemies of the Champions, brand new, out-of-the-box enemies. All right, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, class dismissed.